Yeah, let's go. It's time to get it started. Let's talk about it. Straight out of spot called Eightfold. Yeah, with a sound you can't hold. Come on. I don't know how I want to start this.
Yeah, you know what time it is. It's your boy, Ghost Dog. And you know we here to talk big as what we do here at Ghost Dog's Big Talk. Know what I mean? But, yeah, episode 1. Starting things off a little controversial, might I say. Man, the Shedeur hate. Like, let's get right to it. Quite honestly, I don't understand where it's coming from. I mean, I have an idea, but you know, the goalpost after goalpost, the pivots, searching for any rhyme or reason. I don't understand, man. Is it the brashness, the cockiness, like the chains, the glamour? Are you so caught up in that? Like, what is it? Like, what don't you see? Are you not seeing what I'm seeing? When I look at Shedeur Sanders, I see somebody who's poised in the pocket, focused on making plays downfield, always calm, composed, cool as a cucumber, as corny as that fucking sounds, dissecting defenses, placing balls in places where only his receiver can come down with the ball. He makes those 50-50 balls so easy for his receivers. His pinpoint accuracy, next level. I don't need him to have the super arm strength of a Jalen Milroe or a Cam Ward. Sorry. He doesn't. He makes the throws. I've seen him do it. While defenders are rushing in his face. When Eli Manning was here, and not to compare him to Eli Manning, because, you know, we're going to have those people who are going to, you know, come at me with you compare him. No. I'm just using Eli as an example because we are familiar with Eli. Eli was known, if not for his clutchness, but for another quality that we really appreciated here at the Giants. Because if not anything, our division as a whole is a very physical one. So when it comes to the best ability, which is, of course, availability, right? As the old saying goes, Eli Manning was just that. And guess what? Number 2, Shedeur Sanders, money squared, is just that. So people need to like really pump the brakes and just really chill out with the slander. And yo, make no mistake, bro. I was there. I was a doubter a couple years ago because a lot of people don't realize there was a lot of controversy, for better or for worse, surrounding the whole Jackson State situation with the Shedeur Sanders. There's a lot of speculation, and look, man, rightfully so. I can't take that away because in that moment, at that time, I felt similarly to how they feel, or in that moment, should I say, how they felt, whoever that they might be, you know, the doubters, the naysayers, that he used Jackson State to sort of springboard himself into becoming a collegiate coach on the NCAA level. So I can understand that perspective. And I was somewhat to a degree on the same page with that perspective. But the moment he came to Colorado, that's, for me at least, and I can only speak for myself, that was when I was like, all right, now it's for real. Now it's real. So let me see what you got at the very least. You know, I like to call all this Deion Sanders and Colorado situation the hate. I like to call it the Money Mayweather effect. Because they're using the doubt and the negativity, the publicity, whatever shape or form it comes in, negative or otherwise, they're using it to their advantage. They're using it to build the brand. And I'm all with that as long as you can back it up. I'm with all the quote unquote brashness. For me, it's confidence, because the kid, for me, Shedeur Sanders is actually a pretty humble kid. But, you know, my personal feelings aside, he's been able to put proof on the field to back up his claims. This kid is the real deal. Pocket passer. He is athletic. He doesn't need to be Cam Ward level athletic, though. I don't need him to be that. But what I do need him to be is all up here. People want to talk about elite arm strength. Yo, that young man has elite football intellect strength. Level. Very elite. We have a Russell Wilson in the building. We have a Jameis Winston in the building. Let's just draft this young man at 3. Have him sit as an Eli Manning did once upon a time behind a Kurt Warner. I'm old enough to remember that, by the way. Some of these older fans, they want to act like that's not a thing, having somebody sit behind somebody. And we get it, you know, oh, but he was a Manning. Shedeur is a Sanders. Football pedigree is football pedigree in any shape or form it comes in. Sorry. If you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. The choice is clear for me and what this franchise needs to do. You draft him at 3. You sit him however long you feel like you need to. I would prefer the entire season. I would prefer that we were in playoff contention, excuse me, at the very latest around Christmas. So that way, like, you know, those last 2 games, if we're out of it, we're out of it. That way we can kind of put him in, you know, get his feet a little wet. But I am all for just having him, hey, put him in storage, man. Have him learn behind Jameis and Russ. Who knows, man? Maybe we can get Dangerous out there for the year and, you know, make somewhat of a playoff push. I doubt it. Our schedule is crazy. But if we can draft Shedeur, have him sit for a year, compete, maybe win like 6, 7, possibly 8 games, be in playoff contention around at the very least Thanksgiving, I call that a successful season. Because at least we have something to look forward to the future after this season. For all the doubters and the naysayers, I really have 2 questions, because it's really one question combined into 2 parts. I need them to tell me what a Shedeur Sanders, I'm sorry. I need them to tell me what drafting a Travis Hunter or an Abdul Carter puts us in 2 to 3 seasons from now. Just tell me, try to sell it to me. Because what I see, quite honestly, no bullshit. I see us being in the same position we was when when we traded OBJ, because Neighbors, it's only going to be so long before Neighbors gets worn out one way or the other. Either, you know, he's just tired of what's going on in a lot, you know, in the organization as a whole, because we're not winning, or we're going to put him in bad spots where, you know, knock on wood, God forbid, where now his health is in question. We already had a couple scares last year. We don't need this to be like a common thing for him. We did the same with Saquon. He was smart enough to get up out of here when he did, though. And look what happened. Are we going to be in the same situation with a Travis Hunter and Neighbors 2 to 3 seasons from now? And don't be surprised if when Neighbors leaves, he ends up going with Jaden Daniels. You got to remember, man, Neighbors and Travis Hunter, they're not used to playing with mediocre quarterbacks. Jaden Daniels is an elite quarterback. Even after one season for me, I'm jumping out the window with it. I think that boy's going to be special. And him being in the East as a Giants fan, it's going to be something to watch. But we need a Shedeur Sanders here to max that energy, to max that eliteness, especially if he can sit behind a Russell Wilson for a year. Elite football intellect. As far as an Abdul Carter, nobody's denying his talent. For me, though, there's only one generational player in this draft, and that's Travis Hunter. I'm not saying that Abdul Carter isn't great. I think he is definitely the best pass rusher out of this draft, but his injury scares me. I know they're saying, oh, it doesn't require surgery. Man, look at the history of the Giants when it comes to their injuries and their draft prospects in relation to that. We've never had any good luck with that. We've had the worst of luck. And going up against some of the best O-lines, not only in the conference, but also the league as a whole, that boy is going to be tested. And even if it doesn't require surgery, that injury is going to eventually compound upon itself. I don't wish injury upon that man. I'm not trying to put that out in the air, but that's where my mindset is. And on top of that, last year, our defense wasn't the issue. If anything, I would argue that our defense last year was borderline championship level. The only thing we really lacked was depth. Let's keep it 100. On the record. For those first, I want to say 5 games, people were calling us the New York Sack Exchange, putting it on them. Problem is, we were averaging 15 points a game. I don't care what nobody says. If you've ever been a part of a team, professional or otherwise, I mean, man, it could be playing with your boys Call of Duty on a Saturday night. And I promise you, if you've done that, you've been in situations where you've looked at your man who's like 1-16 and you're like, yo, bro, like, what are you doing? But that's your man's though. Now imagine that if you had to keep things on a professional, multi-million-dollar level. There's layers to this. I know if I'm going out there and putting my all on the field and getting busy, no less, make no mistake, to then turn around and have to run right back out there after a 4 and out. They say championships wins correction, Lord Jesus. They say that defense wins championships. Correct, they do. You'll never get that argument from me otherwise. But you do need an offense to get you there. This ain't the NFL of the old. It's just not. Sorry. So Joe Shane, Brian Daboll, John Mara specifically. I'll throw Steve Tisch in there too. Y'all got to do something, man. Because this is just not a good look anymore. None of it. None of it. And I don't want to be that one to be like, pull out certain accusations. Because make no mistake, bro, I love this team. Been rooting for this team since I was a kid. Born and raised in New Jersey. So, enough's enough, man. Time to do the right thing. And that's it. And with that being said, man, stay tuned is all I can say. Because this is just the beginning. This is definitely just the beginning. Because whether we take Shedeur at number 3 or whoever, I'm definitely going to be on this mic and in front of this camera talking my talk. Shout out to Big Pat, Aboriginal Sports Network. Tap in, tune in. Because we live, baby. We real live. But, yeah, man. With that being said, ghost out. And please be respectful with each other, man. At the end of the day, we all are Giants fans. We might have our indifferences, our different opinions, but let's just be copacetic with each other. And like I said, man, with that being said, ghost out.
That's why I love the ghost.
He loves that dog. Always playing silly games. Stop messing about, Tommy, and get in the car.